see some snow flurries on Wednesday, but overall, I'm not worried about that right now. I'm just excited for the warm weather for Halloween.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've seen Halloween without snow. We had a few flakes the other day, but
Right?
hopefully,
Not too bad,
hopefully they
though.
stay away. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
as long as it's a white Christmas but not a white Halloween, I'm
Yeah,
happy.
exactly.
All right.
That'll be perfect.
All right, thanks, Ashley.
Yep, you're welcome.
Now I have a pretty big guest here joining me, entering his 4th year as head coach of the Minot State University men's basketball team, and did it with a bang. Head coach Matt Murken, thank you for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
As I mentioned, opening the season with a bang, a 78-71 victory over Dixon State last night. How'd it feel to start off with a big win?
No, it was good. We play on the road. It was a challenge for us. They have a little bit different rules, being an NAIA school, so they've had about 2 more weeks of practice. So really, they've had double the amount of practices that we've had, and to go on the road, it's kind of an old rivalry, so it was fun. We got to get a road win. It's a good experience for us down the stretch. Get back at about 2:30 in the morning or so, and then sleep for a few hours and get in and watch film. So I'm looking a little bit worse for the wear probably today than I was last night. But thanks for having me here. It was a good start to the season, and just kind of excited to get it rolling for real.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, like you mentioned, good way to start the season with a win. Always makes it a little easier to go into that next game and continue on. But as you were mentioning, season starting, you got a lot of new faces. How did you guys look this year?
Yeah, we've got 6 guys that are new to our program. 3 of those guys played last night, so that's always a challenge to work them together with the returners, and our returners have done a nice job of kind of helping everybody get settled in and that sort of thing. But we played a team last night, and they ended up playing about 30 minutes of zone defense, so they switched it up on us, and we have those 3 new guys that haven't worked much zone. We've only done that 1 day in practice so far, so we had to kind of learn on the fly, and that's I think most athletes would say that's the best way to learn, is to get in those game situations. Practice is great, you get better, but sooner or later you have to get out there under the lights, and it's fun to walk in the gym and the popcorn's popping, and there's a few fannies in the seats, as the older coaches say, and then tip it up for real. So I was proud of our guys to kind of learn on the fly as we went, and just excited to kind of see those new guys especially keep getting better and keep fitting with our returners.
As you mentioned, 6 new guys on the team this year. When you went into the recruiting period after last season, were you just looking for new faces, or was there lots of spots you guys had to fill?
We had 3 seniors last year that were a big part of our program, and they moved on, and we knew that we probably couldn't just take 3 guys to replace those. It'll be a team effort. And then this year we've got 7 seniors, so it's a huge senior class. So we wanted to bring in some of those guys maybe that don't need to play right away this year, but they can kind of get that year of college under their belt. And a lot of people on campus that are college athletes, they know that first year it's just everything's new school, new teammates, new system, a little bit better athletes than what you're used to. So just kind of get that first year under the belt, and then next year after we lose these 7 seniors this year, we'll really need some of those new faces this year to really step into some much bigger roles probably in the future.
Okay. And when you go into recruiting, I know I talked to the assistant coach for the women's basketball team, and they like to go into like Australia and New Zealand and look for recruits out there. Do you guys have a special area you like to target when you go out and look for new recruits?
Yeah, and we've been all over the place, really. We've tried to start everything in North Dakota and try to kind of own this area around here. And then other than that, if you can play, we're going to try our best to find you and find guys that can fit with what we want to do. So, but we've got a great diversity on our team. We have 5 North Dakota players we have 16 guys on our roster, and then we've got a few international players. We've got Brazil and Serbia and England and Australia represented, and then some other states within the U.S. So we've got a lot of diversity. It makes for a fun locker room, in my opinion. Our guys do a great job of learning about each other, and that's one thing about being on a team in athletics that I love, is you get to look for things that are the same about each other, and it's a great habit to have as you grow up and get in the world. Look for things that you like about each other, not things that are different, and point those things out. And I think it's been a great experience for the guys in our program, and it makes it fun every day, having those different personalities and different backgrounds, and learning about new people.
And with all the North Dakota guys you have on your team, you said it almost makes it easier for fans to come watch games and fill up the
That's
the
always
dome
good.
a little bit.
There's a place to send guys for Thanksgiving. They can go with a teammate for Thanksgiving dinner or something like that. And it's always good to have those guys close by. Our North Dakota players in our team, their families really have embraced the rest of the guys, especially the guys from farther away, and help them feel comfortable. And that's one thing about the city of Minot and our campus and really our whole state, is there's a lot of people that just that will accept you for who you are, and if you give a good day's work, they're gonna take care of you. And our program's been really good about that, and our families, especially the local guys, have really embraced the guys from farther away.
To go on to like the more farther away part, I was looking through your bio on the webpage, and it says you travel around doing basketball clinics, not just in the United States, but you also travel over to Africa. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, it's been a great experience for me. I've been fortunate to travel. I think I've been on, I think, 5 different continents now to do camps and clinic. We do camps for youth. We do coaches clinics for coaches. You know, we do a lot of different activities. Just kind of basketball is a sport that's loved worldwide, and you know, some places are a little bit more rich in the culture of it, but some places it's relatively new. But there's people that love it everywhere, and a lot of times we've had humanitarian aid tied into those trips, where we'll get into schools and we'll just talk about you know, growing as a person. We'll talk about personal hygiene stuff. We'll take some. Sometimes we've had doctors or nurses that do kind of a side project along with our basketball stuff. So I've been fortunate to do that. Really blessed, and it's really helped me as a coach. You know, this summer I was in Kazakhstan and gave an hour speech with a Russian translator, and it's an experience I didn't know that I'd have, and I made some jokes that probably didn't translate very well, and there was some blank stares looking at me. But I think it helps you grow as a coach, and I'm big on getting out of your comfort zone. And being in some of those places has definitely made me appreciate what I have, but also just get to know new people and make some great new friends really across the globe.
Yeah, and you mentioned like that there's humanitarian aid in it too. Is this a kind of a thing you started on your own, or is it a program that you joined that does it?
Right, I started with, the first trip I did was with Athletes in Action, and they go worldwide in a lot of different sports, and I got involved with their basketball side of it, and then just met some people through that who kind of have that same vision of using, you know, they like to coach basketball, but they love to use it to help people more than anything else. And so just kind of looking to continue to do that. And we have some plans in the works for this year to go somewhere new and host some more clinics. And hopefully, you know, it doesn't hurt if you see a 6'10" guy that wants to come play in the U.S. and has the grades. It's not bad to bring somebody back over as well. So you maybe can use it a little bit as a recruiting tool as well.
Yeah. I also know you don't always go over alone. You traveled last year with the team to a tournament. Was it in Costa Rica?
We went to Puerto Rico last year with the team. We used an exemption where you can travel and get a few extra games. And, you know, basketball it's taken me to a lot of places. We kind of mentioned that already, but you kind of forget, you know, the first time I was on a plane was when I was a college athlete. And we didn't travel much when I was a kid, and I got on a plane to go to the national tournament when I was playing. And I thought it was pretty cool, and got to make some other trips. And we went to Puerto Rico, and I think we had 4 or 5 guys who'd never seen the ocean, and we had an hour of free time, and off they went, and they were diving in there right away. And but just to kind of help those guys see some different things and learn, and we try to do some educational stuff while we're there, so the history of where we're at and the culture, and that was a great trip. It's a good team builder. You get in those situations that are maybe outside your comfort zone, you have to really rely on each other too, and they kind of, you know, there's some people that don't speak English, and you're trying to get around, and you get a little closer with your teammates that way, I think. So it was a great experience. Hopefully we can do that in the future. There's a limit on that about every 3 or 4 years. I think the NCAA lets us do those types of trips. And our guys really embraced it, did a ton of fundraising to kind of cover their costs. So I'd love to do it again sometime and take a team again.
Yeah, so you do a lot of things, and of course, more games coming up this season. We talked about your next home game coming up in the middle of November. I want to thank you for taking the time out of your day. I know you had to come from practice for this, but it means a lot to us for you to come in and tell us about how the game went and a little bit how you do things over in the basketball program. So thanks for coming. Again, this is MSU men's basketball head coach Matt Murken. That's about all we have for the show, so thanks again. We're going to wrap up real quick here. Song of the week, Halloween theme, Monster Mash by Bobby Pickett and the Crypt Kickers. Don't forget to check out Halloween at the Auditorium if you have children, or if you don't, a Magicon. That's going to be an exciting thing too. So thanks for joining us today on MSU Inside Out. Tune in next week.
From my laboratory in the castle east to the master bedroom where the vampires feast, the ghouls all came from their humble abode to get a jolt from my electrode.